What is up, guys? It is Winton Yates with the Dad to Dad Show. Good morning. It is a bright and early Thursday morning here in New Orleans. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are tuning in from. Today is a very special episode that I'm really excited about. We have the honor of speaking with Donte Palmer. He's a Florida father of three boys, and a photo of him went viral back in 2018. That photo was of him squatting in a men's room with his son across his lap trying to change his diaper. That photo went viral because it opened up a national conversation of why we rarely see changing tables in men's restrooms across the country. Real quick, before we get into this conversation that I'm super excited to have, remember to check out our sponsor, dadsnack.com. On checkout, put in all caps, dad, the number 2, dad, for 10% off your entire purchase. All right, let's get into it. Let's see. Really excited to have Donte on because this is definitely something that we've all come across. We've all had to deal with. Donte, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good. And yourself? Thanks for having me this morning.
Man, I'm so excited to finally get you on here. I know we've been chatting. We've been going back and forth trying to figure it out, how to get you on here to talk. But I'm really excited to have you on here.
It's been a long journey. I'm honored. I'm excited to be here as well.
Man, let's start off. You're a father of three in Florida. Let's talk about that journey first of you being a dad. You've got three boys. What was it like in the beginning? You went from none to three. Tell me about your relationship with your boys.
Right. Okay. So I became a father at the age of 22. So at the age of 22 it was really new to me. Scary. Wasn't working. Wasn't even like a full committed relationship at the time. But it was really hard for me to really grasp what it meant to be a father. But at the age of 12, I vowed to myself, at the age of 12, when I ever became a father, I would be something more than my own father. My father wasn't in the house. There was a lot of alcohol and drug abuse. So I said, I want to do something different when it's time for me to become a dad. So that's what I did. So now, fast forward, I have my son turns 13 tomorrow. So I have a 13-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And it's just an honor to be first off, a black father, taking care of three black, strong, smart boys, and just educate them about the world as we see it today, and just how to elevate them above that to be better men, to be better than I am as a father. I'm not saying I'm a perfect dad. I'm an okay dad, but I want them to be better than I am, so they can take their kids to next levels.
I mean, not only are you a dad, but you're a dadvocate, which I think would be the appropriate word. You're out there really, really trying to make the world a better place for really not only dads. This helps all parents in general because it's just an inequity that that we've all come across when we're out at dinner, when we're out, at the clothing store, any of that stuff. So that viral moment was the jumping off point for you bringing this issue to the forefront. And it was actually one of your boys that took the photo of you squatting with your son across your lap.
It's my 12-year-old son. He was 12, my oldest son. So he was 12 at the time. That was the day he got a cell phone back. So we went to the restroom. He was just a kid being a kid, just taking pictures of everything. Some pictures I couldn't post because he got some exposed shots. But it was just me changing my son, nothing normal. I wasn't, at this time, I wasn't frustrated. I wasn't angry. I was just being a dad, a father, just changing my youngest son, and that's what happened. When we went to the dinner table, he showed me the picture, and it still didn't resonate to me what I was looking at. I was like, okay, he took a picture of me changing Liam, and that was that. It wasn't until about 2 weeks later I had my son send me the picture, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and post it for family and friends, and that's what I did. And the next morning, it went globally viral.
For you, hearing what you're saying in that, like, in the moment, even for 2 weeks out, you didn't really realize what you were looking at as far as the picture of you with your son across your lap. What does that say to you looking back that it didn't even cross your mind that this was an issue that you were having to put your son across your lap just to change him in the restroom.
Right. I think a lot of times we just, as fathers, we just go through our day and just be those fathers. It's like a norm to us. Like we are so comfortable with the norm, where we don't say, well, I look at a situation, like, you know what, it's normal. You know, I can't change this, so why I'm going to even put my voice on this topic? And that's what happened. You know, 9 out of 10 fathers have gone to the restroom and have experienced a lack of changing tables. And we don't speak about it. We're just like, you know what? We're men. I don't want to be emotional. I don't want to be this person that goes out and, you know, make a big scene about it. So I'm gonna just do what it does. I'm gonna just do what it takes to take care of my children. And when I posted this picture, I wasn't expecting a movement. I wasn't expecting a global campaign. I wanted a reaction from family and friends. My following at the time was maybe 200 people. And that night I got about 3 likes and about 12 comments. There's nothing more than that. But I just think it speaks on society and how we view fathers. And we are so accustomed to not having, where we just don't speak about it. And I think now it's time to really open our mouths and really go fight for, you know, being a parent and being a father.
Like you said, this is an issue that we've all come across, just being out in public, trying to navigate the world with our families. And while it really is, we're talking about something as simple as a place to change our child's diaper. What do you think that speaks about the more broader conversation of dads within the conversation of parenting, and how dads are looked at or referred to as, like, if for instance, if people see us out with our kids, they say, oh, you know, you babysitting today? And it's like, no, I'm parenting today. What do you think that, you know, this conversation says in that broader conversation?
Honestly, first off, that's frustrating to be walking in the street and someone calls me and says, oh, you're babysitting today. No, I'm being a father and I'm taking care of my boys like I typically do. To be honest, we got to break those stereotypes. Fathers, parent. And it's deeper than a changing table. I tell my wife all the time, it's now elevating a marriage, a black marriage, because it shows that both mom and dad can do, you know, reciprocal things, doing the same exact thing of changing diapers, cooking around the house, cleaning the house, taking the boys to daycare and football practices. So we share everything on an equal playing field, and we just want to show that it's not a particular role of what a parent is. I mean, if you have a child, everything that falls under that umbrella, that's your job to do. As simple as that. You know what I mean? Who said it's mom's job to take the kids to the doctor, so take them to the dentist appointments? Who says it's dad's job to take my boys to the football games? It's not my job. It's our job to do that. And that's what we're going to showcase and prove to the world, that there's no roles when it comes to being a parent.
You know, since you went viral with this and it started this global movement, this global campaign, how have you seen that conversation change? Have you seen people or heard people say, you know, I used to refer to dads as, you know, babysitters or just being on daddy duty for the day. Have you seen people starting to change the way that they talk and view fatherhood?
Oh, absolutely. I have a ton of major corporations and some major influential people reaching out to me saying, you know, I never thought about that. I never thought about going to a restaurant and have to put a changing table on for men. A lot of restaurants here locally where I'm at now in Jacksonville, Florida, have recently just started reaching out to me and saying, you know what, since your campaign, I installed a changing table on my own strengths. So the conversation is definitely changing the world, not just here in America. I mean, I have a dad from Saudi Arabia saying, you know, he's now trying to start a small campaign in Saudi Arabia. Another guy from the UK said he's also incorporating changing tables with the aspect of mental health in the UK. So it's a lot of fathers around the world who are now gravitating to this conversation and pushing it, and we're getting attention that we deserve.
That's awesome. And speaking of the attention, not only have you gotten the attention of huge celebrities like T.I., John Legend, and Black China, and the list goes on, but you've been recognized by CNN and been on Fox, Forbes, BBC, CBS, all these big time networks. But then you've also got these big time childcare companies reaching out to you, wanting to partner with you on this movement. What does it feel like for you just to have these big eyes looking and reaching out to you saying, hey, we recognize what you're saying. We're recognizing the issue that you're bringing forward, and we want to back you on that?
It means the world. I mean, we can mention it. Pampers, gave me a partnership to, put in 5,000 chaining tables across the next 2 years over Canada and America, which is a great thing. 5,000 chaining tables will give access to many and plenty of fathers around Canada, America, to really have the access to change their babies in a comfortable station. It just means the world to me that from a simple picture, a small picture taken from my 12-year-old son, we got the attention of a major corporation to go ahead and push this initiative further, and not knowing that this will be a full-time job running my own nonprofit, Squad for Change Incorporated, to really push and change an initiative for fathers across the world. So it means a lot.
Let's talk about Squad for Change. Tell me about your nonprofit, because that is something that came out of this whole thing.
Right.
Tell me about Squad for Change. I'll leave it at that and let you tell us about it and how people can be involved and find out more about what you're doing with it.
Yeah, so when a picture went viral, we just, created a hashtag, Squad for Change. It was on rocket science. People always ask me how I came up with the name. It was really, I just kind of threw it together. And just say, you know what, I'm squatting in the bathroom, changing my son's diaper, Squad for Change. It was that small and simple. Over the next few months, I, not knowing what to do, started Googling and YouTube and how to create a nonprofit, and that's what I did. Now we are an official nonprofit here in Florida. Our mission and our vision is pretty much to really advocate for changing tables in every public restroom across the world, and that's what we're going to do. But like I keep saying, it's deeper than a changing table. We are now focusing on trying to get resources to the underserved community as a father, because I think that's the gap we have. We have fathers in the world that don't have the finances or even know how to be a father. A lot of fathers that I have come across think money is the solution. It's not. I think, and I want to go and teach these fathers. If you give your child quality time, that will increase the behavior, that will increase the well-being of your child by just sitting down with them, talking, having those meaningful conversations. So that's what Squad for Change is going to do. We want to travel across the nation just to give resources, of course, install those changing tables, but to really encourage fathers to be better parents.
So how can people reach out to you? How can they get involved? How can they find out more about Squad for Change?
Well, Squad for Change, it's easy to find me. So on all social media platforms, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, it's Squad for Change. Email me, squadforchange@gmail.com. The website is squadforchange.com. So really just, if you want to get involved, go to my website. It's the instructions on how to donate or how to just be involved with the movement itself. And I'm looking forward to every mom, every dad, every grandparent, every partner to really reach out and really be a side of me to, get this thing moving.
Let's switch gears for a second. While you've gotten, shouted out by all these big celebs and giant media companies and big corporations, how important has it been to have your wife on this journey with you?
Oh, listen, I think, honestly, I'm happy you asked me that. A lot of people don't ask me that. In the very beginning, I was answering questions, and I think I was leaving my wife out a lot. And she got really offended by that. And I understand wholeheartedly. She is the rock. She is the number one source of all this happening. If it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't have a baby to squat in a restroom to bring this into attention or the forefront. So it's really important that she honestly, she's the brains behind all of this. The nonprofit, the hashtags, me losing weight to look better on camera. The way I'm speaking now is all my wife, and I have to give her all the credits. Where I have to give all the honor to her, and I'm just happy that she's along this journey with me, because I know she's going to take me to the next level where we need to be at.
I know she's been behind you with everything you just said, but what are some of the words that she's given you just to keep you going? Because I know in situations like this, you can end up in a place you didn't expect to be, at the forefront, right, or out in the limelight, being an advocate for an issue. What are some of the things she said to you to keep you going, keep you motivated, keep you moving?
One thing like I said, this movement can be real stressful. It's really new to me, trying to figure out the ins and outs of it. Every morning she has declared and vowed that she will send me a daily devotion, and I don't miss it. So if it's not words directly coming from her mouth, she sends me a scripture every morning to motivate me, to encourage me. But some nights, she'll tell me, "Hey, stop being soft, stop being a little sucker. Get up, be a man, and keep pushing your campaign, because minority fathers around the world need you. Black, the Hispanic community, fathers like you need to be represented, and you will do so." So and she's doing it. And I'm also saying this because I'm actually in my barbershop, and this is one place where we need to start advocating for. We places where fathers take our kids to. We go to barbershops often. I take my boys often. A lot of barbershops lack that resource, so we will be advocating for the change the table and barbershops as well because it's needed.
Yeah, that I mean, you're right. That is a place that we are in. I mean, I just
All
went
the
and
time.
got my hair cut, so
Exactly.
we're
It's the
I mean,
main.
we're in a right. We're in a barbershop, every 2 weeks. But speaking of your family, your boys, they're young right now. They may not even realize what's going on, what you're doing, and it's grandness, like the
Right.
bigger picture of what you're doing. But in the future, what do you hope that they look back and take from seeing you step out there and be an advocate for fathers across the world?
Well, my 12-year-old, he understands wholeheartedly and so his full potential was going on. My son wants to be a football player when he gets older, but he has been having a conversation of being a politician or even advocating, just like his dad. He said, just from a simple picture, you really changed the world, and it's actually changing his environment as well. His school invited me to come out to speak on the topic of the campaign at his school, so he really feels though, and he's a part of that. In Germany, he was announced as a world-known photographer for taking this picture in the article. So
Wow.
he feels he feels part of the movement, and he should because he took that picture. But I just hope they take the fact that if you have an initiative, you have an issue, speak about that, and if you want to change, go ahead and get it changed. And there's no problem too small or big to fix.
That's awesome. Well, I won't hold you because I know you're in your barbershop. You probably got people waiting on you. What, real quick, the last question I'll ask is, what's next? I know with some of this, sometimes with issues like this, you can kind of get real involved in what you're doing now. But have you looked at what you're doing next, or where this
Yeah,
is
so we
going?
it's so I'm sitting down with my team. There's nothing like solidified yet, but like I said earlier, we really want to, take our initiative across the nation to really give back to underserved fathers. So we're really trying to draw up some plans now to how to do that. Where's the funding coming from? How will we make this happen? And we're trying to reach out to like 2 cities on the West Coast, 2 Midwest, 2 on the East Coast. So really hit these inner cities, sit down with fathers, educate them, encourage them to be better parents because, a lack of father in the household is no good. So we're really trying to close that gap and bring father and child back together. And that's what we're trying to do. So that's what our next step. We're just trying to figure it out now. But when I get some more concrete information, you'll be the first person I let know. I
That's
promise that.
awesome. Dante, we really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us for a minute. And we really appreciate what you're doing for dads across the world, man.
I appreciate that.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Guys, that's probably one of my favorite interviews that we've done so far. A dad that is really trying to make a difference across the country. This is an issue that we've all encountered. I mean, being out, like he said, at the barbershop, at the movies, at the grocery store, at out for dinner. Um, you know, your child is gonna go to the bath. If they're wearing a diaper, they're gonna use that diaper at some point, and it's gonna need to be changed. And we can't expect mothers to be the only ones that stop what they're doing to have to go to the restroom to change their child. There are dads out there like myself, Dante, and millions of others that don't hesitate in saying, hey, I'll take him or I'll take her to the bathroom and change him. But when we get there, we encounter these issues, which may not seem significant, but they really are, because you could get into a bathroom that's small and has a pedestal sink. So there's you can't use the sink, there's just a toilet, and then there's nothing else. And then you end up having to be resourceful or athletic in some way to try to be able to change your child so that they're comfortable and hygienic and safe in their diaper. So I will be putting up, I'm going to get the links from Dante. I'm going to put the links in the bio for this conversation so that you can reach out to him, be a part of it. Check out Squat for Change. Check out that photo that initially went viral back in 2018. Go follow Dante, and let's be a part of the movement to try to get these changing tables where they are needed, and also use this as a chance to talk about the broader conversation of dads being looked at and talked about as being legitimate parents or part of that parenting team, and not just babysitters when they are out or have their kids by themselves. Yeah, so that's it for today's conversation. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please reach out to us, send me comments, let me know what has been your experience with this issue. Have you gone into a bathroom and there not been a changing table? What did you do? How do you handle these situations when you're out in public and you need to change your child's diaper and you don't have a place to do so? Let us know. Send us a comment. You can send us a comment here on Instagram. You can tweet us. You can go to Facebook and leave us a message. All of the handles for all of those platforms is the same as it is on here. Dad, the number 2, Dad Show. And you can find us on any platform. Real quick, guys, remember, if you want to catch the latest episode of the podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, same handle. Put in Dad to Dad, DAD 2, the number 2, Dad Show, and you'll be able to find our latest episode of the podcast. I will put this on there as a episode of the podcast, so you can listen to it passively if you want to while you're driving in your car, in the gym, wherever you are. Even if you're in the kitchen doing dishes or something, you can be listening to us. So, yeah, that's it for the day. We will see you next time. We got some really fun stuff coming up. We're going to be talking about some fitness stuff. We're going to be talking about some postpartum in dads. So we got some really good issues coming up that we're going to be talking about. So keep your eye out. We'll see you next time.